Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 80. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How is it going? Good God, we're at 80?
80 episodes.
Wild.
80 episodes of at least an hour long of us ranting about
and rambling.
cardboard.
A lot of rambling.
Ranting and rambling.
In those hours.
Today, we're going to be talking about Flesh and Blood and Dusk Till Dawn and how it's out of print already.
Oh, yeah.
And how it's not even out yet. It's out of print. How can that be? We'll get into it. Stay tuned. What else were we talking about? The shadow cards. We're going to talk about the shadow cards. We did the light cards last week, and we're doing the shadow cards this week. We are pre-recording this, so it is Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
So if anything happens between Wednesday evening and Sunday when this gets posted, blame John. Leave it down in the comments. Hashtag I blame John. Hashtag John show up.
John show up. Fair. I like it. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm going to California, go camp, hiking, traveling all through the state, Northern California. It'll be fun.
Sounds fun, and I'm jealous.
It's going to be a blast. It does mean Tommy will be doing the market update next week from the beach because he too is traveling.
I just put that together.
Not just me.
I just put those two things together.
I was wondering about that. I was like, did he agree to that before he thought about that?
No, yeah, definitely way before.
Well, maybe there won't be a market update next week.
There may or may not be a market update. If not, hashtag I blame John down in the
comments. Yeah. Hashtag Tommy show up, right? Because he agreed to do the market update and then he did.
Without thinking. Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. It'll go out or it won't go out.
It's no big deal.
One of the two will happen for sure. But yeah, so what do we want to start with? Do we want to start with the exciting news of Dusk Till Dawn being out of print?
Yeah, let's throw that out there first because it's a pretty quick topic, I think. And then we can jump into the cards and just kind of go through them pretty quickly since we're going to be like some of the last people reviewing the cards anyways. Yeah, all good.
I mean, but everyone was waiting for our review because we are the pro players in the Flesh and Blood world.
The source.
Everyone, the whole meta is on a precipice.
They totally
episode 80 of the Weekly Roundup podcast to find out what cards to order.
That's right.
Pre-order, because when you pre-order singles, they definitely won't go down.
It always works out.
All financial advice.
There's none of that here.
None.
All right. So out of print. What's that mean?
So it means that they are not printing anymore. Does that mean that it's all gone? Absolutely not. It's not even in the hands of anyone. There's probably just as much of it as the other sets, as Dynasty probably, because it's a supplemental set, so I'm sure they do it different.
Yes.
We don't know specifics yet on Dynasty, but what we do know is that this has those serialized. They're not. I don't think they're. Are they numbered?
Yeah, they're serialized.
Yeah. So the serialized cards. When you do serialized cards, you have to put it all out. You can't do waves.
Yeah.
Because then either A, you don't have a chance of pulling all the serialized in the box, and then you do later, but at one point there wasn't a chance, or you put them all in the first run, and then the second run, there's no chance.
Well, and I think there's also some legal stuff around.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was
looking to. The obligation to have a random prize be within the opportunity of it coming out or something like that. Probably came out around McDonald's and Monopoly because I feel like McDonald's and Monopoly cause a lot of laws around like giveaway things just because that's how it went over the years.
Yeah.
But so what that means is that they had to do the whole run all together, 5 languages. I don't know if it's split between languages. We know it's split between regions and printers. Originally, it was only going to be Belgian, and then they did end up splitting it.
Mm-hmm.
So both the West and East, I don't know how they break that down, how they call those different parts of the globe, but both sides of the globe will have it opportunity at them. We don't know what the weight is, if there's more on one side than the other. Like, we're not sure how they're doing it. But yeah, serialized cards are out there in the wild in warehouses as we speak.
Yeah, so we just, you got to put them all out. So they're all out.
Just means you got to open all the boxes.
Right.
All of them.
Right.
Everyone.
What's out there's out there.
That's right.
We don't know how much is out there.
Nope. But don't lose your shit.
No.
Be mindful.
Yes.
You do not need to overpay for these boxes.
Correct.
There will be plenty. They will be at MSRP and below. Guarantee they'll hit map.
Correct.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress over it at all.
I mean, my Lord of the Rings collector box says may contain serialized ring card.
May.
Which
means either are allowed to contain it or not allowed to contain it. It's your choice.
Yes.
That's how may works in card games.
Yes. I choose that it does contain it.
Yes. I choose containing. Serialized card. Thank you.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's exciting. It's something different. It's something new. I think the chase is cool. I don't think Flesh and Blood will react the same way that Magic did with serialized cards.
Hell no.
The game is too new.
I'd be thrilled to have one pop up, but I'll be honest with you, I have zero cares about it. Like it doesn't even register in my mind because the odds are so small. It's like, do I play the lottery? No, I don't, because the odds are so small. It's just absurdly silly in my mind.
Yes.
Right.
That's what you're doing. If you're buying it to find the serialized cards, you're playing the lottery.
Yeah.
Go play the lottery. Playing the wrong game.
Cool. Are you ready?
To get into some shadow stuff? Yeah, I guess
to delve into the darkness of your soul.
I don't like that part.
All right, fine. You can carry a prism with you. She'll protect you.
I don't think so. Not without AB.
Not without AB. Definitely not without AB.
So before we did this, we did a test, and John was like, "I'm gonna play Vincent, and you're gonna play Prism." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know how to play Prism." And then so obviously I don't have a deck list. So I went on the Purple Discord and found the first link that had Dusk Till Dawn cards in it and played that one and didn't side in AB, which I feel like the game would have gone different if I had AB.
Yeah. Yeah. How many rune chains did I create?
A lot.
And you couldn't block any of them.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could block one, and then the spectral shields helped, and then so there are some ways around it without playing AB, but
it's not great. But that deck, your deck was definitely set up to be pretty defensive, it seemed, and you were unable to bring that because you didn't have the basic stuff.
Yep, and you only need AB1, so I could have just not played Crown of Providence and played
Rune Hood. Yep.
So
I feel like there's a was it Weave Reality or one of the others has one of the, or Ghostly Touch maybe has AB on it. One of the illusionist things that are useful also have AB on it. I can't remember which one though.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't play illusionist. I play warrior. I should play Bolton.
Oh yeah, you should have. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. See how that goes. I like Vincent, but anyways, let's talk about the cards.
We got Levia, Shadowborn, Abomination, reprint, and then Levia, reprint. We're getting those heroes again. Same hero. Then we got Fellhammer, a Shadow Brute Weapon, two-handed hammer. Once per turn action, pay 2, attack. When this combat chain closes, if this attacked, banish it. Blood Debt. Swings for 6. What do we think, John?
I don't get it. I'll be honest.
You get Blood Debt.
Okay, never mind. I do get it because she wants to collect Blood Debt to become the demon.
Correct.
Is that the thing? That's the idea? Okay. Yeah. That's okay. Then, yeah, it's fine, I guess.
But you can only swing it once.
Yeah, I mean, and you gotta, I mean, if you have all that gear, was it the, like, block 2, go to discard Blood Debt gear, you can technically, and swing this on turn 1, you can technically get 5 of your 13 in banish turn 1. You know what I mean? So I guess that's kind of the game plan, is to quick shift to demon mode.
Yeah.
And go nuts. I don't know if it's worth it, but that seems to be the idea.
You could also play Spoiled Skull, Shadow Brute Equipment Headpiece, action, pay 1, banish this. Target 3 action cards with different names in your banish zone and choose 1 at random. You may play it this turn.
Go again.
Arcane Barrier 1, which is important. And Blood Debt.
Yeah, I don't know. Art's cool.
Art is cool.
I do not know Levia, but she seems like she got a lot of tools in this set, and it's going to be a lot more exciting to play.
I am scared.
Yeah, she is going to be scary.
So I'm not going to know what any of these cards do when they hit the table.
They swing for 6.
Or they swing for asterisks, like Diabolic Offering. Cost 1 is blue, Majestic, Shadow Brute attack action. If a card with 6 or more attack has been put into your banished zone this turn, Diabolic Offerings attack and block are 6. Otherwise, they're 0. So you can block 6 from hand with 1 card.
That is pretty good.
It's not a defense reaction.
That is pretty
And you're
good.
not
But
paying
you have to
for it.
banish.
Oh, you would pay 1.
Turn.
No. Would you pay 1?
No.
No, because it's not a defense reaction.
Yeah.
So you're blocking 6 and paying 0 with 1 card. This seems pretty
well,
good.
not 1 card, because you have to be doing something that put a 6 in your banished zone.
True.
Which I don't know how you do that.
How you do that on your
on someone else's turn. There's probably a defense reaction or something that does it, but it means you're doing this like now combo thing to make it happen.
Right, because I was gonna say if it was just a blood deck card, then that equipment would obviously.
Nah, 6 and more attack.
Yeah. Interesting. Similarly interesting, we got Shaden Death Hydra. Swings for 13, blocks for 3, Majestic Shadow Brute action attack. When this attacks, it deals X damage to you, where X is 13 minus the number of cards with blood debt in your banish zone. So you want to get it to 13, and then you swing for 13, and it doesn't deal any damage to you. Don't feel like that's going to happen every time, though. It costs 6.
Very expensive. It's a hell of a swing, though.
It is. 13 is a swing. That's a warrior's whole hand, and it still hits 1.
4.3 value per card.
Mm-hmm.
So just slightly above a 0 for 4.
Yeah, and I think that's why it has the drawback.
And it can hit you back.
Yes, it can.
So,
yes, it can.
It's okay.
Next up, we got Slithering Shadowpede. Horrific looking card. This is why I can't play Levia, because I don't want to look at cards like this. It's terrifying.
You're like, please put your face back together.
Yes, and your body.
And your body.
And hide all your legs. Only 2, please. Costs 1, Shadow Brute attack action, swings for 6, doesn't block. If this was banished from your hand this turn, you may play it from your banish zone. This turn.
So 1 for 6 is real good.
Mm-hmm.
Good rate.
Mm-hmm.
No block, though. That sucks.
Yes.
That feels brutish, though. I'm okay with that.
It's one that you want to banish, though.
I mean, do you?
Yeah.
Then it can count towards the total, and then you can swing with it later? Mm-hmm. No, it has to be in the banish zone this turn.
This turn,
no.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure what you said is.
Our opinions on these are so valid.
No, not at all. I don't know how she plays, so I really don't get it.
Expendable Limbs. 0 blue, Shadow Brute defense reaction. Blocks 4. As an additional cost to play this, banish a random card from your hand.
There you go.
If a card with 6 or more attack is banished this way, you may play it from your banished zone during your next action phase. That seems pretty good.
So here's a question. Does Diabolic Offering, if it gets banished, is it a 0, I guess, at that point? Unless it's the second thing banished in a turn. It would be a 6. You could play it from your banish.
Yeah.
Judge. It's gonna have some weird lines of play.
Judge.
Yeah. And then you couldn't defend with it from your banish zone, right? So
it says you can play it.
Yeah. Interesting. I get it. I see now. It's fine.
Blood Dripping Frenzy. Cost 2. Majestic blocks 3. Shadow Brute action. As an additional cost to play this, banish your hand. Draw a card for each. With Blood Debt banished this way. Your Brute and Shadow attacks get plus X. Attack this turn where X is the number of cards with 6 or more banished this way. Go again.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's gross. That's going to be one of those if you combine, and I have no idea how the regular brute cards end up working with Levia, but the like is it like Massacre and like Alpha Rampage, all those sorts of things, like start comboing the crazy combo. You've seen the Blood Rush Bellow combo and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
With
Yeah.
something like this as an additional tool. Oof, gross.
Yeah, I think this is a really good arsenal card. Because then you set up your hand, you wait for the turn with a bunch of Blood Debt in it. In your hand. Play it.
Yeah.
All those back up, and then yeah, you get the pluses. Seems pretty good. And then it gets Blood Debt into your banish zone.
Yeah.
Wild. Not as wild as Ram Rider. Cost 2. Swings for 6. Blocks 3. As an additional cost to play this, banish a random card from your hand. If a card with 6 or more is banished this way, this gets Go Again.
So always has Go Again. Nothing like a 2 for 6 with Go Again.
Unless you banish a non-attack action card or defense reaction.
True, but the way most of these are built, you always have Blood Debt, so that as long as you're banishing every turn, you're turning Blood Debt off.
Yeah, that's true.
That's typically the way you build it.
Which
means yellow and blue are useless.
Yeah, because the yellow is 5 and the blue is 4.
Yep.
Next up. Yeah, so all the light cards, we want the yellow ones. These ones, we want the red ones.
Yep.
Wall Breaker.
Bloody red.
Wall Breaker. Swings in red, pays 2. Cost 6. Cost 2. Attacks for 6. Blocks for 3. If you've banished a card with 6 or more attack this turn, this gets Overpower. Overpower is awful.
Unless you're a wizard. Oh, wait, no. Action cards. Never mind. Even if you're a wizard.
Yeah.
It's bad. Okay, got it.
You can still play reaction cards, though.
Yeah.
Then in the next rainbow, we got Shaden Scream. 0. Shadow Brute action. Blocks 3. As an additional cost to play this, banish a random card from your hand. Your next Brute or Shadow attack this turn gets +5. That seems pretty good.
Yep, very gross. Will probably be played in blue for the +3.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the few that's not going to have a 6 no matter what you do, so you might as well have a blue out of it, I would think.
That makes sense.
And blocks 3. Blue block 3 is always a good thing.
Yep. The next two, we got to change up. The reds are 7 and the yellows are 6. So we got Battlefield Breaker. Pay 3, swings for 7, blocks 3. If you've banished a card with 6 or more attack this turn, it gets +1 and it has Blood Debt.
It's freaking gross.
Yep. Same with the yellow is a 6, cost 3, +1. Then we got Shaden Swing. Cost 1, swings for 7, blocks 3. As an additional cost to play this, banish a random card from your hand, and it has Blood Debt.
Holy crap. I just realized this is stupid. I know everyone else knew this already, but so Prism looks really cool, powerful, capable, and Levia just eats Prism every day of the week.
Yeah.
For breakfast. Because she's doing nothing but 6s. It's like, go ahead, do a Herald, give it a shot. Let's see how it goes for you. It's not going to go for you. Wow, interesting. Meta's going to be very weird.
Next, we got Tribute to Demolition. Tribute to Demolition.
Yep.
Swings for 6, blocks 3. As an additional cost to play this, banish a random card from your hand. If a card with 6 or more attack is banished this way, it gets +2.
That's good.
Seems pretty good. Also has Blood Debt. All these things have Blood Debt.
Yes, they do.
Tribute to the Legions of Doom. As an additional cost to play this, banish a random card from your hand. If a card with 6 or more Attack is banished this way. It gets +2 and it swings for 7.
God, it's so overvalued. I guess it's not though, right? Because you're talking about
You're
9.
paying 3.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's lower value. It's 9 for
Yeah.
3. Or sorry, it's 9. Yeah, it's 9 divided by 3. So it's a 3 value card.
But it's in one card.
No, it's not. You have to pay 3, so that's one card. It's
right.
itself, and you have to
Right.
banish
So
a
you
card
need
from
4
your hand.
cards.
You need 3 cards to make this go.
Okay, so Levia's not blocking then. Or it like
She blocks with 1 card.
One
She does
card.
have 3 blockers, yeah.
But
So
then
she'll
with Prism, you just get around it with your boots.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I thought people said that she has overvalued attacks. Maybe some of them
This is
somewhere.
a common, so maybe not this one.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, it's a common. It's a popper. It
Yeah.
blocks 3. Like there's a lot of okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But that's what we have for the Shadow Brute. Now we'll move on to the Shadow Rune Blade Vincent. We've talked about Vincent. We've talked about the flail, specialization, flail, one-handed weapon, once per turn, attack, pay 1 life. When this hits, create a rune chant. Swings 1.
Hint: if you're playing against Vincent and they're swinging the flail, you should block it.
Yes.
Because it's gonna do 1 damage to you, right?
Yep.
That's balanced by the 1 damage they took. But it's gonna create a rune chant, and that's gonna be a resource and a damage
Yep.
at another point, right? So, and by turning off rune chant, slowing them down, it definitely helps. And this is one of the few ways I think you can prevent rune chant creation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of them are just like create a rune chant. Done.
Yeah. Next up, we got Grimoire of the Hunt. We got a book, John.
I love it.
Shadow
not a
Rune
tome.
Blade
It's not a
equipment
tome.
offhand. Instant. Pay 1, banish this. Create an Eloquence token. Has Arcane
is-
Barrier 1 and Blood Debt.
It's the go again. Eloquence is go again on a non-attack action.
Yep.
It's very useful. I like it.
Especially when you're stacking chance and don't want to swing an attack.
Yeah.
Which leads us to one of those attacks. Widespread Annihilation. Costs 4. Rune Gate. So Rune Gate is if you control rune chants equal to or greater than Widespread Annihilation's cost, you may play it from the Vanish Zone without paying its cost. When the combat chain closes, each hero who has lost health this turn banishes a card from their hand. Gross.
Yeah. Nothing like swinging for 6 for free.
Yeah. Seems good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a weakness to Wizard here. Because if you get hit, you also have to banish a card. But if you don't have any cards, kind of
From hand, it's not a problem. Yeah, but the one that banishes off the top, that can be dangerous.
That can be dangerous. Yeah. We'll get there.
And I did that. Yeah. We'll get there.
Next up. Oh, yeah, because then the flail, too. The flail counts.
Yep. Well, that's why you don't swing a flail when you're swinging one of these.
Right. That makes sense.
Plus no go again.
Yeah. Because next, we have Widespread Destruction. Cost 3, attacks for 6, blocks 3, has Rune Gate. When the combat chain closes, each hero who has lost health this turn banishes a card from their arsenal. Blood Debt. Widespread Ruin. Cost 2, swings for 6, blocks 3, has Rune Gate. When the combat chain closes, each hero who has lost health this turn banishes the top card of their deck.
That's the one.
Pretty good. That's the one. Arsenal also seems pretty mean.
It's good against your opponent. That one doesn't harm you as often, I would think.
Yeah. Next up, we got Funeral Moon. Cost 0, blocks 3. You may play it from your banish zone. If a hero has lost health this turn, you may play this as though it were an instant. Create a rune chant token.
I like this card.
Seems pretty good. Requiem for the Damned. You may play it from your banish zone. If a hero has lost health this turn, you may play this as though it were an instant. Create an Eloquence token. Blood Debt. Oblivion. Legendary Vincent Specialization. Cost 0 is a blue. Play this only if you control exactly 6 rune chants. Create Narseth, the Soul Harrower token.
Yeah, that thing's messed up.
Yep. Is that here?
It's down below, I believe.
At the bottom?
Yeah. Bottom of right next to Embodiment of Lightning and all that. Very last of the shadow stuff.
See it. That is a once per turn action. Costs 0. Attack. When it hits a hero, banish a card from their soul. If a light card is banished this way, gain 1 life. Swings for 6. Shadow token demon ally.
Nothing wrong with a 6 swing for free. There's no go again though, so it's like I mean, it's probably good if you're building up rune chance, right? Because they don't go off from swinging this.
Right.
So yeah. So you play a non-attack and swing this. Play a non-attack, swing this. Build up your rune chance, and then swing the little whip for 1 life and slap them with a billion rune chance. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that working. That's
Yeah.
cool. Hard to get though. 6 exactly. Trickier than it
and then you have
sounds.
to have that card.
Yeah.
Where was I? Because what I was going to say is it is an instant, so it can be an arsenal target, and then when you get to 6, you play it at instant speed.
Yeah, you set your timer up, you do that, and then you just use that as a distraction to build rune chance for 2 or 3 turns while they deal with that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not bad. I think it's a little bit too much setup for what she needs to do to win.
Could be. Or just a different strategy.
Yeah, it could be one of those unlocks in the future things, like the mechanologist suit.
Yeah. Next up, we got Deathly Delight. Cost 2. Rune Gate. This is a rare, so we have it in red, yellow, and blue. The red swings for 5, yellow 4, blue 3. They all block for 3. They all cost 2. Whenever combat chain closes, gain health equal to the number of heroes who have lost health this turn.
Seems good.
Blood Debt. Yep.
Nothing like a 2-cost rune chant because you get that pretty much automatically.
Or for free. Yep.
Yeah, because you're automatically banishing, so you get 1 every turn, and you probably have one from swinging the whip last turn, or one of the card effects last turn, or worst case scenario, you can pay 3 to do it with your gloves.
Mm-hmm.
So
next up, we got Deathly Wail. You played this one against me. Has Rune Gate. When the combat chain closes, create rune chant tokens equal to the number of heroes who have lost health this turn. So you could be creating 2.
yeah, go ahead, bring the wizard attack. Thanks for the extra free resource and damage.
That comes in rainbow as well. Next, we got Envelop in Darkness. Costs 1. Create a rune chant. Oh, this is a non-attack action. Blocks 2. Create a rune chant. The next attack action card you rune gate this turn gets +3. Man, this seems fun. This seems way more up my alley.
You're gonna play Vincent now?
I might.
I'm definitely playing Vincent. I can't help it. It's too amusing.
Yeah. Like, you do your thing. I'll. This is a very John deck.
It is. That's why I like it.
It's
This is why I was like, I'm not paying attention to what you're doing over there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they were like, wait, did you just skip your turn? I was like, no. I blocked with 3 and then I arsenaled.
I was like, I didn't realize.
You were like, oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was like,
I was busy trying to sort out how to sequence my turn because you have to do that.
Rough. Next up, we got Rift Skitter. Costs 3, swings for 4, blocks 3, has Rune Gate, go again, Blood Debt. Seems, 4, go again for free if you have 3.
3's hard to get to, or harder, I'd say.
Okay, so 2
and below are my favorite. Yeah. But
so
it has go again,
it has go again by default.
That's not terrible.
But also, I think you're right. This is a common that I don't think sees play because then it triggers your rune chance.
It does, and therefore you can't rune gate
and
a second thing.
And there are much better things to hit.
Yeah.
Use your rune gate with. Like Phantom Banshee, where you can swing for 7.
Yeah, for that same 3.
For that same 3. But no
Seems
go again.
Good. Yeah.
And you don't have a lot of cards, so I don't know if you have that much use for go again.
Correct. I would say the way she plays so far, you don't go again until your big turn. You
Yep.
try to get yourself set up, then you do the big turn combo.
Yep. Next up, we got Phantom Wraith. Also has Rune Gate, cost 2. So there you go. Here's a 6, so it's a popper. Blood Debt, and it blocks 3. That seems pretty all right.
Yeah, and I like that one.
It has
I'm a
some
fan.
sweet spot numbers.
Yep.
Followed by Putrid Stirrings, which is disgusting sounding and looking. Costs 3. Non-attack action, blocks 3. You may play this from your banish zone. The next attack action card you Rune Gate this turn gets +5. Go again.
Seems good.
Seems
Gotta pay 3
very
for
good.
it, but seems good.
From your banish zone.
Yeah, it's fine. If it gets banished off the top or whatever ever other reasons, yep, it's all good. Or you can
Next.
target it to banish it.
Yep. So now we have one that we probably should have talked about when we were talking about with Levia. Levia Redeemed. So it's the legendary Levia specialization Shadow Demi Hero, which is new. Has 4 intellect and 8 health. You may only have one Levia Radiant redeemed in your deck, and only if your hero is Levia. Action. Turn all cards in your banish zone face down. Transform into Levia Redeemed. Activate this ability only while this is in your inventory and you have 13 or more cards with Blood Debt in your banished zone. Cards you own lose Blood Debt, so you cannot gain any more Blood Debt, and your Blood Debt is permanently turned off.
Yep. I don't know. Doesn't seem all that great. I guess it's good as a recovery at the last minute.
But so how does this work? We got Blasphemous, Levia Consumed,
This one seems better.
which is 13 health. While this is in your inventory, when Blood Debt reduces your health to 13, you may transfer. So it doesn't even have to be in your deck. Like, it's not in your deck, right? It's in your deck list. It's in your deck
Yeah,
box.
yeah, it's in your sideboard. That's
Yeah.
where it is.
So when Blood Debt reduces your health to 13, so Blood Debt has to be the one to reduce your health to 13. You may transform into Blasphemous Levia Consumed. Once each turn, you may play a card with Blood Debt from your banish zone. Whenever a card is put into your banish zone, turn it face down. If you would lose health from Blood Debt, instead banish the top card of your deck. Seems
So
pretty
it
good.
feels really hard to get to go off unless I'm missing some nuance and mechanic, which I may be. So Blood Debt happens at the end of your turn,
Yes.
and she turns it off most of the time. So you can probably specifically time this to a degree by not banishing that turn intentionally
Right.
to let Blood Debt trigger. Now, when Blood Debt triggers, is it one Blood Debt, one Blood Debt, one Blood Debt, one Blood Debt? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then that's easy, right? Between number 13 and number 14, Blood Debt damage
Yeah.
or whatever, right? When you're about to be reduced to 13 or whatever, you can then trigger this in that phase theoretically because it's not actually being played, right?
Right.
It just happens.
Yeah.
So that may be easy if Blood Debt is all calculated as a whole and just subtracted at the in phase. Because I honestly don't know how the game loop works at that part of the turn. It's a
Right.
weird part of the turn. Then it becomes very hard to make happen because you have to be exact.
Right. Right.
The other side's easier to come out, but also not as powerful, obviously, right? It's just if you're more than 13 Blood Debt cards, which I think will happen pretty much every game.
Right. That makes sense.
So the cool thing about this is, yeah, the cool thing about the other side is you can, I think, if I'm reading this correctly, you can basically get a free 8 extra life.
Right.
So you
Which
just
is
like
huge.
you're down to 1 or 2 and you're like, boop, I'm redeemed now, right? Because I
Yeah.
already have more than 13 Blood Debt and I now have 8 life. Blood Debt's turned off. Your deck is heavily in the banish zone, and now you just go ham with whatever you have left because you don't have to worry about turning off anything.
Right.
I don't know how the balance of the cards work for that, but I don't know. I mean, they're cool if you can get them to work. I hope they're easy enough to work and they don't end up becoming like the mechanologist where it's like, cool idea, never played.
I think this is gonna be it's gonna work.
It does. Okay. Do
Yeah.
you know about the end phase, like how blood debt's counted out? Is it like a
I
rune
think it
chant where
is.
it's like
Yeah.
one, one,
I
one,
think
one,
so.
one?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, that's actually that's
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad they gave her some love.
Yeah. Because now we're into the shadow cards. So this could be played by both Olivia or Vincent. And we got the Shroud of Darkness set of equipments. Of Darkness equipment. They're all 4 hood, chest, arms, legs. If your hero would be dealt damage, you may banish this and prevent 2 of that damage. And they all have blood debt. So there's an easy way to get up to your blood debt very quickly. I don't know if you would want to. Probably not. But I doubt you'd play all of it. I don't know. I actually don't know if any of that really sees play. Then again, because like when you're thinking typical brute, you got scabbies, gambler's gloves to go with the scabbies. Head is usually Crown of Providence.
Husk.
Yeah. Maybe instead of crown because it prevents 2 instead of blocks 2.
Yeah, you could skip crown. You could skip gamblers, gloves, and scabbies with
That's a gamble,
Olivia.
John.
Well, yeah, and while I fully endorse and support using scabbies, I don't think she needs it.
No.
I could be wrong, but I think she's above rate when you're able to keep the blood debt stuff off, which she does pretty easily. At least that's how she used to play. I don't know. I don't know with these new cards what that does.
We shall see.
And then you can force that blood debt damage situation and Blasphemet to come out, and then you don't have to worry about blood debt ever again, and you just swing.
It's true.
But then you really want those scabbies so you can swing multiple times if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe keep the scabbies. Yeah, I see. I don't know. We'll see.
Dabble in Darkness is not what I will be doing. And it costs 0, swings for 5, and blocks 3. Has blood debt. But when this attacks, banish the top card of your deck, and it gets -X, where X is the pitch value of the card banished this way. Does this remind you anything?
Yes.
Ravenous Rabble with blood debt.
And hits harder, right? Is it Ravenous 4 or is it 5 as well?
Pretty sure it's 5.
I can't remember. Is it 5? Okay, I couldn't remember.
For red.
Right.
And then but this doesn't have go again.
True.
What? Cost 0, gets blood debt. Next we got Chains of Mephetis.
Sure.
Cost 0. You may play this from it's an aura that blocks 3. You may play this from your banished zone. If you do, it enters the arena with a doom counter. At the start of your turn, destroy this unless you remove a doom counter from it. If a hero would draw a card during an action phase, instead, they banish the top card of their deck and may play it this turn. Blood debt.
I don't understand if that's good.
If a hero would draw a card during an action phase, so you are spending an action and putting a card out to then potentially screw up your opponent drawing a card.
Or you drawing a card. Well, no, it doesn't screw them up. They can play it,
that turn
as an instant. Yeah, basically, right?
No, not as an instant.
Oh, I see. So it could just toss the card for them, essentially. Yeah.
Opposed to going into their hand where they have more control over what it does.
Yeah, I don't really like this. Too much setup, and it gets blown up if it doesn't have a doom counter. Only way to get a single doom counter is if you play it from banish zone. So really, this only works well with Vincent, where she can choose to banish it and use it that turn.
Yeah.
And then it lasts for one other turn, right? So how much of an impact is it really going to have? Maybe. I don't know. I don't see it though.
Depends on the matchup, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
We have another shadow action. Dimensional Vortex? Dimensional?
Yeah, I think that's how people have been saying it.
Okay. Dimensional Vortex. Costs 3. Doesn't pitch. You may play this from your banish zone. If you do, it costs 2 less to play, so it only costs 1 then. Each hero banishes a card from their arsenal. Seems fine.
What? I don't know.
But also seems real bad. It's like,
Yeah,
I want this banished and nothing else.
These feel like they're setting up for some future thing or another.
Yeah.
Neither of those two make sense to me at this point. But then again, I don't know those new cards that well yet, so
No.
probably missing something.
It's our first time looking at them. Like the hungering Demagon. Why didn't he eat breakfast? Maybe he wouldn't be so hungry. Cost 2. Swings for 6. Blocks 3. If an opposing hero has 1 or more cards in their soul, you may play this from your banish zone. When this hits a hero, banish a card from their soul. Seems pretty specific.
Yeah. Anti-light.
Just what Bolton needs. I mean, it's 6, so that's a thing now. It still is relevant. And if an opposing hero has 1 or more cards in their soul, yeah, I mean, it's. Does this even get sideboarded in? Maybe.
Maybe in heavy prism meta.
Now, these kind of things would be really cool if like the PvE setup has like, all right, we're doing a shadow campaign where bring cards that are good into shadow stuff, or like we're doing a light campaign.
Yeah, and we know there's definitely a lot of like PvE cards in this set so far. So that's a very good point. In fact, that might even be part of what's going on with some of this other stuff that I'm like, I don't understand it. Maybe it's meant specifically to be part of PvE.
Yeah. Like Grim Feast. Costs 3. You may play this from your banish zone. If you do, it costs 2 less to play. Gain 3 life.
That seems good for event set.
Yeah. Why not?
Get to banish it, create a rune chant at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah.
Get to gain life. That's the end of your turn. But say you block with 3 cards.
So let's pay
one. No, because you have Tunic. That's your only chance there.
Yeah.
Which so far I'm liking Husk better on her, but I can see an argument for Tunic. There's more than once where I've been like, man, I wish I had Tunic.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Maybe it's a sideboard situational thing. Like with Dory, it's a situational between Tunic and it's like whether you play those cards or not. Like when I play Steelblade Shunts, I bring my Tunic so that I can use those for that and then don't need to spend a card for it.
Yeah.
But every other situation, I use
Courage. Yeah.
But our next one, we got Vile Inquisition. Costs 2, blocks 3. You may play this from your banish zone. If you do, it costs 2 less to play. Target hero banishes the top card of their deck. If it is red, they lose 1 health.
I mean, I love putting this in Vin set against wide aggro decks. It's just a freebie, like slap in the face.
For 1?
For free.
Oh, right, because it's 2.
Yeah. So it's a freebie, and I get to create a rune chant.
True.
It doesn't it hits them, and it doesn't trigger my runes. You know.
Yeah.
That's always a win. That's 100% of a win.
Makes sense. And the blue still does it too. So do you play the red? What's the benefit of playing the red?
What is the difference between them?
It's just worse.
Oh, it's the color that it targets. If it's red off the top, if it's blue off the top, if it's yellow, you play the yellow into the. Oh, that is actually more interesting than I thought it was.
Yeah, it is. It's like the fletching in the arrows.
Yeah.
The book should have been different colors. Soul Butcher Cost 2. If the defending, it's a shadow attack action. Attacks for 6, blocks 2. If the defending hero has 1 or more cards in their soul, this gets +2.
Wow.
Same thing. Yeah, maybe there's like Prism's like a PvE boss.
Or this is in a monster deck.
Yeah, that too.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking about the one that's like the tornado or whatever, that it says each hero banishes a card from their arsenal. So that's something that hits the party.
Yeah.
As like a boss deck or something. We don't know, obviously, but
no, just speculation.
Seems like it could be cool.
Yeah. Next up, we got Soul Cleaver. Attacks for cost 2, attacks for 6, blocks 2. If the defending hero has 1 or more cards in their soul, this gets go again. Blood Debt. Next up, Beseech the Demigod. Cost 0. Choose an attack action card in your banished zone. It gets +3 until end of turn. Go again. Seems all right.
Yeah,
At last, I will show them what true knowledge looks like. Final words of Zane Runescribe.
I was like, sounds like you got it wrong.
Think again, Zane. Oh, I do miss the flavor text.
Yeah, I wish they had more, but the cards got wordy.
Obsessed, they call me. Rabid overreacher. I merely grasp what begs to be possessed. Lord Sutcliffe.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Cost 0. Tear through the portal. Blocks 2. Choose a red action card in your banished zone. It gains go again until end of turn. Go again.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Same with the yellow and the blue. Do the same thing. Then we have Stolen from Tales of Aria. We have the embodiment of Earth and the embodiment of Lightning, because you may need them for the specializations, like Anthem of Spring. Cost 0. Briar specialization. The next attack action card you play this turn gets +1. Go again. Unity. So this is one of those PvE things we were talking about. When this defends together with a card from hand, create an embodiment of Earth token under any number of heroes' control.
I think we went over all these when they came out, didn't we?
Did we? Yeah, I think we did. Maybe. We don't need to go into them. We got the shadow cards done. Except for we didn't talk about
blade equipment at the bottom.
Dyadic Carapace, Arcane Barrier 2, and Temper. Seems pretty good. It's not very wordy, but it is a key piece to have in a class's arsenal. Anything that just gives you Arcane Barrier 2 is pretty solid. And then Temper 2 is pretty solid. Now, it's not battle worn, but I don't think Rune Blade needs battle worn.
Not
or
really.
Deserves battle worn.
No.
More of a warrior thing.
Rude.
Even though not even a warrior shield can be battle worn anymore, because there's a Bastion of Unity. When this defends together with a card from hand, this gets +1 until end of turn. Temper. So does this ever?
So how does that work?
Break? Yeah. So the way Temper works is when the combat chain closes, if this defended, put a -1 counter on it. Then, if it has 0, destroy it.
So does it drop down to 0 at the end of the turn? Or the beginning of next turn, because it has that -1 counter and it no longer has
it says
the
at the
+1.
end of turn, and this says gets +1 until the end of turn. That'd be really bad if it was just a block 2 break.
I think that's what it is.
Why? We'll need clarification on that. Because like when the combat chain closes,
yeah, It's
Which
not the
this
end of the turn.
defended. Minus,
So,
yeah, so the combat chain closes before the end of the turn. Put a -1 counter on it. But it gets +1. So if you blocked once, it gets -1, then it's still at 1.
oh, that's true. Yeah. No, yeah. It would still be around. So you get to block with it again.
Yeah.
So you get to block twice, a 2 and a 1.
Yeah.
Because the minus counter will stay. But yeah. No. That works. Yeah.
It'll always block 2 when defended with another card from hand. It won't break when it's defended with another card from hand, but if you block
the -1 counter stays on there. So it blocks for 2 the first time. Then there's a -1 counter. So now it's at 0 going forward, but you can block a second time and it will get a +1, making it a 1 the second time.
On a different chain. You
and
can't
then
block
have a
twice on the same chain.
Correct. Yeah, it would be on a different turn totally.
Yeah.
But it would have 2 -1 counters on it, and you would never be able to get it back above 1 or back above 0.
Right. Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Temper's done. Just play Battle Worn. It doesn't break. Is there anything else? Oh, Crown of Providence reprint. We called this a while ago. It's here.
Tommy claims we call it. I don't remember calling it.
We definitely did.
I believe you.
Because it follows the consistency, right? You have Tunic that got its non-foil reprint in Crew. And then you had Skullcap that had its non-foil recap or non-foil dull cap reprint in Everfest. And then you have Crown of Providence, which is now from Uprising, which is now coming out. It skipped a supplemental and is now in Dusk Till Dawn.
Got it.
So basically what they're doing is they're finding these cards that are super meta dependent and go in a lot of decks, and the equipment pieces that are just getting out of control in price, and then they reprint a non-foil version to help bring the prices down, or at least create a more affordable option. Every time it has brought the prices down, and I think that's good because Crown of Providence is very good, but it will come down dramatically more when the new headpiece comes out that replaces it, like Crown of Providence did to Skullcap.
If they do that, they'll do it. They'll totally do it.
Yes. It is still early in the game's life. But we also got frontline equipment, which is kind of cool. I like the look of it. I'm excited for cold foils of them. Yeah. At the beginning of your end phase, put a -1 defense counter on this, and it has Blade Break. Beginning of your end phase.
Got 2 turns to use it.
Yeah. Use it or lose it. So maybe you go first? No. Because if you go first, then it blocks 1.
Yeah, then you can't use it at all.
You never want to go first.
Yeah, it blocks 1. But yeah, you don't. It's for those that go second and are willing to block immediately and hope you don't end up against a ranger or somebody that sets up their first turn. I mean, I don't think it's really good. The art's really cool.
I wonder if this will shape Commoner.
Yeah, probably. That's what it's actually for.
Yeah.
That's other formats.
Yeah. So we have the gloves and we have the helm art. We are waiting.
There's probably a chest and boots. Yeah.
Then we got Censor. When this hits a hero, name a card. They can't play the named card until the end of their next turn. Swings for 5.
I don't really like that. People were saying this is hype because heralds, but how do you know which herald?
Yeah.
Do you just always name herald of your edition?
Yeah.
Maybe Amnesia is better because that.
I think so. And that's 6, but that's 2.
8. Yeah, it's a 2/6, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
The art's pretty cool, though.
It is very cool.
She's clutching a tome or a book. I wonder what that book is. Next up, we have Hold the Line. Cost 0. Generic defense reaction. Blocks 2. If this attacking hero has drawn 2 or more cards this turn, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to your hero this turn.
I think this is the one that made all of the wizards in our shop say, I'm not playing wizard anymore.
Yep. Just like, what? What? Yeah. But next up, we have something that'll be fun and interesting in UPF. Warmonger's Diplomacy. Cost 0. Starting with the hero tier left. Each hero chooses war or peace. If they choose war, the only actions they may play or activate during their next turn are weapon and attack actions. If they choose peace, the only actions they may play or activate during their next turn are non-weapon, non-attack actions.
That's right. Wizards always choose peace because they're diplomats.
Sure. Let's call it peace. But they have verbal war.
I like this next one.
Poison the Well. Cost 0. The next time your hero would gain health, a hero would gain health this turn. Instead, they lose that much.
I don't know that it's ever useful, but I just love the idea of like you go to play the whatever, the card that gives you health back, and someone just slaps that down and says, haha.
Yeah. Sigil of Solace.
It's
so like, no,
mean.
you lose
Sigil,
3
yeah,
though.
there's a bunch. Yeah. It's just, I enjoy that.
But so now we have the Courage token, the Eloquence, Quicken, which we know, Spellbane, Aegis, Courage. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping it was going to be, maybe it's just too broken. I'm not a game developer, but I was hoping that it would be your next weapon attack costs 1 less. It is destroy this, the attack, your next weapon attack or attack action card gets +1. Certainly help for Bolton, but meh.
Yeah.
Meh. Not what I wanted.
Fine.
It's fine. Any other cards you want to talk about? Anything just overall now that we've talked about all these cards?
Seems fun.
Yes.
Gonna shake up the meta.
Yes.
No way around that.
Correct. Does it have me switch heroes? Maybe. We'll see how Dory fares in the meta.
Yeah, I think Dory's probably pretty okay.
I will stick with it in the beginning. But again, most of my play is at locals. And we'll see how many prisms there are, because that will not be fun.
I don't know, man. You swing multiple times a turn, and with Ward, that's it. You're causing trouble.
Right, but the heralds just do too much damage.
You can't keep up.
I can't keep up. Like just in a solid race.
Because you don't have 6s?
Because I don't have 6s. I can't pop.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my Command and Conquers, or I have my whatever popper flavor of the month. And then maybe even 2 sets. But I really I don't have that many sideboard slots for 6s. And now there are cards that even 6s don't even matter sometimes.
Work, because they -1 you. Yeah.
-2.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I don't know. We'll see. There's a couple people that have mentioned that possibly picking up Prism, and if they do, I will be switching off Dory. If they don't, I will probably stay on Dory. I will definitely
play Levia then, so you have 6s all day long.
No. Maybe I go
Reinhardt?
Bravo.
Go back to Bravo. Wait, you played Bravo before.
It was my first hero that I really
That's what I thought. I was
yeah.
you did play, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It seems fun. But I just don't know. I have concerns about this set.
Well, we're late into the pod, so feel free to express your concerns. No one's listening. # I'm listening, Tommy.
Thank you. My concerns. Am I excited for this set? As a Dorinthia player, no. As a Flesh and Blood player, yes. Is it going to shake up the meta and do exactly what the supplemental set set out to do? Yes. Will it sit on a lot of shelves? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Always. All supplemental sets do.
This one more so.
Because it doesn't have everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Flesh and Blood is a game where there are many players. The majority of players, I would say, do not switch heroes that often.
Nah, agreed.
Unless you just are accumulating all these different cards and are a crazy person like John and I.
I was going to say, I don't know anyone like that.
That can literally just go build the deck if they want to and show up with it. And it's not a matter of just, oh, well, I'd have to learn the deck, which is my problem.
I mean, that is the biggest problem.
Right, exactly. But there's no other additional problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Whereas now, you just, unless you're switching to Prism, unless you're switching to one of these new heroes, I don't think this set's for you. Or unless you were already playing one of these. Like all the Prism players switched and now they will switch back. There's the League of Leviat who will do
Absolutely be
that.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the dozens of Bolton players who will still cry in a corner probably. And who else? Then Vincent. So we have new players that come in and get excited every month, every set, right? They find a hero, they attach onto it. Is that hero Prism this time, or is it Vincent? Or is it
Yes.
Levia?
I think all three are very viable. And even Bolton, people are whispering that it's good.
I know, I've heard the whispers. I hope it is. That would be cool, because then I could stay a warrior. But I feel the complexity of this is going to scare away newer players. Like, I will use our shop as an example. We have spent the past couple months trying to acquire new players through searching online, setting up free events, advertising our free events, like tons of different stuff to get them to come in, right? We even set up like specific weeks where we're like, all right, we're going to do a Blitz sealed outsiders thing. No one really wants to do it, but new players are complaining about things not being balanced, or not that they're not, the game's not balanced, but just when a new player plays an old veteran player in Flesh and Blood, the new player usually loses, right?
Yeah, of course.
The formats we were trying to do were trying to increase the odds for the new players, but they just didn't show up.
Well, they did, and then they
Some
got,
of them
yeah, they stopped because they still got trounced.
did. Yeah.
And some of them, it was summertime, you know?
Yeah. All right. That's, yeah. And so we are also battling summer. So we are battling a very difficult meta with a bunch of new cards that are hard to understand for new players, that are hard to understand for us.
Yeah.
Let alone someone just walking into this game.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
imagine
know that
walking
this
into
is
this.
going to be that big of a deal, because I think, like, look at our schedule coming up. How
Yeah.
much does any of this matter for that schedule? Almost zero.
What do you mean?
Blitz constructed in CC.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Half of the next month has the potential for this being concerning. CC is you better get your big boy pants on because you're gonna get spanked. You know, like that's CC, period. And
Oh,
then
same with Blitz.
Blitz constructed, it's just gonna shift around a lot probably at that point.
Oh, these are all events prior to this launching.
No, half of them are after.
True. But I mean,
But,
you know what I mean? Like by the time people get their cards and get the set. And
oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So, but yeah, so okay, so over the summer, which is the doldrums anyways.
Yeah.
You know, how big of a deal is it gonna be? I don't know. No, I think it will shake some things up. I think it'll be good and fun. And I think a lot of the new player events aren't going to be affected that much because they're going to be commoner. They're going to be, I guess, Blitz constructed
Yeah.
is probably still new player friendly. And then they're going to still be outsiders draft. But, well, I think
or is it
people
Monarch?
show up, the new players show up for, no, it's still outsiders draft. There's no way it's Monarch going forward. It's just for the pre release.
Okay.
I'd be shocked. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'd be shocked if they went all the way back to Monarch and just stuck with it. That would be weird. It's shop by shop. It's what the players vote for. Right. So who knows? Like maybe there are more Monarch players out there. I don't know.
I mean, my logic is a lot of players came in after Monarch was being drafted, or like the Monarch draft season. So like a lot of people, that is a new set draft. So it could be fun.
Yeah, but it's not as good
It's not.
as it's they didn't have it quite cracked yet as
No,
far as
yeah, but it's
constructing draft.
new and different opposed to
That's
6
fair.
months of Outsiders. You know what I mean?
That's fair. But we haven't had 6 months of outsiders.
Right, I know, and I'm not bored of Outsiders Draft. I enjoy
I
it.
was gonna say I think we drafted like 3 times since because we've been playing all these other formats.
No, I've drafted it more than 3 times.
At Red Caps, really?
Yeah,
There's more
yeah,
than 3?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You definitely weren't there for all of them.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I would have shown up. Like, I missed one that I knew
Yeah,
of.
okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and I mean, because that's the thing I show up for,
Right.
and they didn't have it on the freaking calendar because they were doing the the
Yeah,
other events. I was
yeah,
like, okay, try to be supportive of the new players, but
yeah,
I kind of want to draft.
yeah. It'll be fun. I don't know. I'm not concerned for the game as a whole. I'm concerned for this set.
Yeah, supplemental sets are always a little eh
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
So, I
Like
guess
there's some fun shifts, but doesn't. It's not the end all be all.
right. I just find it's a very interesting shift and will be interesting to see how it turns out because you have different things pulling in different directions. Because you have the Prism Waifu tax, and there's going to be a bunch of really stupid expensive cards in this because of that. But then it's kind of like boom or bust if you get those. Like, is it going to be one of those get an angel or not? Like, how many angels in a case? How many? I don't know. Probably similar to the dragons, where there are, but the difference is all the figments are majestics.
And they're all one in a slot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the majestic
So,
dragons were legendary too.
oh, were they?
Yeah.
No, they were not. No, they. Oh, the Majestics, but there's only 3 of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there are 8 of these.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it plays.
It'll be
One
interesting.
thing I know, competitive season is soon upon us, and so get your cards and start your practice if you want to get your competitive stuff up, because all that's coming back. Always does.
Yeah. May or may not sit this one out. I'm not sure yet. May not go too hard.
Yeah, which is fine. I think everyone in our shop is taking a season off.
Yeah. Wonder how common that is.
I
Well, I know it's pretty common just for summer in general.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm pretty sure it's common because there's been several podcasts about how not to burn out.
Yeah. There's
And
been a
it's
lot
like,
of that, and then there's
take a
been
season off.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to play every season. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can come back and learn the meta when you get back, and you won't have missed it. Don't
Yeah.
feel like you're gonna miss out.
Yeah. And I've seen
Be
multiple
okay.
content creators talk about how they're just not making as much content as they were. It's just there's not as much coming out. They're not getting as much views. Not as many subscribers. Not that I feel like you need it, but like that's part of the reason why you do it, right?
I don't know. Is it? I did it because you told me to.
I mean, I do it as an excuse to pull you for an hour and talk about Flesh and
Blood. We never really cared much about the subscribers,
No.
except the comments. We love the comments.
We do
care
love
about that, but we're not worried about the number.
No.
Yeah, we're not
no.
worried about the little number.
No.
We're more interested in talking about a card game that we like to talk about.
No, it wasn't a concern. It was more me correlating other content creators talking about the same thing and seeing the same thing. But
Yep. I mean, it's summer doldrums. We'll see what happens in fall. As the competitive stuff picks up, as this new meta takes shape and becomes real, and what it is this is the real question. Are we about to enter a much tighter meta that's repressive to a lot of classes, or is it going to be somewhat balanced like the Outsiders meta where there's a lot of class possibility? I can see some classes getting shut down, but it seems like some are getting better, you know?
yeah. Yeah. I could see it going 2 ways. I can see it being super repressive and basically you play some of the new heroes or you don't.
Yeah, like it's best counter and anti or
Yeah.
whatever they call it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then Lexi.
Well, this is why I don't think it's really that repressive, because I think you have the triangle between Vincent, Prism, and Lexi, and this is with
How does
very
that
little
triangle work?
uh, the triangle works in that I think Prism can beat Lexi? Question mark, because she didn't go again a lot. I guess there's probably a Lexi build that's better against a Prism, right?
Yeah.
Question mark. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't
But
know because then you have
with
to
that amount
dedicate
of ward,
a whole attack to get rid of
well, that's my
the
point. That was
angels.
why Prism was always good against a Ranger.
Right.
I think Vincent seems, with little information, guys, so take this with a giant grain of salt, good into Prism because of the build up and multi attack capability that just shreds wards, right?
Yeah.
And then I imagine, and I don't know, that Lexi wrecks Vincent's day, because guess what costs something that you thought was going to cost 0
Yeah.
when there's ice on you?
Ice.
Yeah. See what
Icelander's
I'm
coming
saying?
back.
Yeah, so I think there's a triumvirate there of power, and then other stuff that plays into that. Because if there's 3 kind of good decks at the top, it's a much more open meta, you know?
Yeah.
Because you can't be just the dominant thing if there's something that counters you.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
it's not just one thing. It's when there's 2 at the top that it gets crushed. You know, it's like there's one thing that's just dominant against 90% of the field, and there's something that's good against it, and that's it. Like, that's the game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That we saw that.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of the world. We've seen it.
No, of course.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It
It's
comes, it
fine.
goes.
And it becomes part of your local meta if that even shows up. I mean,
Yeah.
Oldham never even became a thing in our shop.
There were a couple players that brought it. But yeah, it was not like the dominant force that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't meta defining.
No. But yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. I might take this summer to just experiment with a bunch of different heroes.
I'm going to play the heck out of Talishar, I'll tell you that. Hopefully, I can learn how to actually manage Vincent's board state, because, oh my God.
Yeah, playing that
I
in person.
am really afraid to play that in person. I am going to screw up so many triggers. And Prism I like even more, but I'm definitely going to screw that up.
Yeah, same. And you
That one
screw
I
that
know.
up and you're dead.
This is why I stopped playing first
'Cause
person,
she has
because I was
low
like,
health.
I can't manage this.
Yeah.
It's too many things. I'm not good at that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else before we wrap it up?
Nope. We'll be checking in with the market maybe next week, maybe not. Either way, we will keep an eye on things, and we'll get back on track within a week or so.
Sounds like a plan to me. So until then, we will talk to you guys later.
Have a good one.